What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Screen This, Big Brother 17, episode 22, brought to you by Morty's TV. Head on over to mortystv.com/bb for a live feed summary, and you can get real-time live feed updates at facebook.com/Morty's TV and on Twitter at Morty's TV. My name is Chris, and I'm ready to talk about Big Brother. And last night's episode was a doozy. I mean, to give you a quick recap of what happened on Sunday, basically Becky had a plan. She was going to nominate Shelly and Steve, and the backdoor plan isn't Vanessa. So the bomb was dropped. Shelly and Steve did go on the block, and now here we are, episode 22. And basically the episode kicks off with Becky reassuring Shelly that Vanessa is still the backdoor plan. Then, Vanessa she's telling, I believe it's Shelly, that she says that everyone's flip-flopping in the house, she can't trust anyone, and Vanessa says that Shelly should pick, if Shelly gets house guest choice, that she should pick Vanessa, and that Vanessa will use the veto. If Vanessa wins, she'll use the veto on Shelly. Okay, fair point. Then Vanessa goes over to Steve and says, hey Steve, if you pick house guest choice and you pick me and I win, I'll take you off the block. And that it's totally fine. I think that's a perfect deal because Vanessa's just covering her ass, and it's a smart move on her part, right? Because if she wins, then she's going to be safe, and whoever picked her, then she's giving them a chance to be safe as well. So it's a good part on Vanessa. Steve is aware that she gave the same deal to Shelly, but you know what? I don't see anything wrong in it. I think it's a smart move by Vanessa, and if Steve and Shelly did get house guest choice and they follow through, then good on them, because then at least they know that they have a second person backing them up in order to save them. So then Shelly asks John if the plan is to actually backdoor Vanessa, and he says he believes so. Shelly doesn't know who to pick if she gets house guest choice. And now John says that if Shelly gets house guest choice, that Shelly should pick him. Of course, this is a little tough for Shelly now, because does she pick Vanessa? Does she pick John? And guess what? It looks like John and Vanessa are on the same wavelength, because John goes to Steve and offers him the same deal. However, this time Steve is a little hurt that John... actually, Steve has every right to be hurt, because John says that if Steve picks him as the house guest choice, that John will still use it on Shelly. And so Steve's a little hurt by this. He's sad. But John's like, look, you're going to be safe this week. We just want to, Vanessa's going up. And of course Steve isn't happy about this, right? Because his two closest allies are John and Vanessa. Which then cuts to a scene where he's by himself in the living room, talking to himself like usual. And he's standing there and he's like, my two closest allies hate each other. I don't know what to do. I really need my mom. Oh, that was good. That was good. I could be totally wrong. And aside from, their HoH letters and stuff like that, I don't know if anyone's ever really called out, saying that they needed their mommy or daddy on TV or whatever on the live feeds, and Big Brother didn't show us. But anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. Now moving right along to Liz and Austin. We really haven't seen them, flirting or anything like that recently. So we did get a little piece of that action today. And I'm telling you right now, I'm kind of on and off with the live feeds, and I've been telling everyone that Liz, I personally, it could just be me, but I think personally, if someone were to really tag another person along, let them feel your hair, kiss your hands, kiss your cheeks, kiss your neck, cuddle with you and everything like that, just for strategy, for more than 60 days in the house, I don't think so. Kudos to her if that's the plan. But what ends up happening? She has a little diary room session, and she says that Austin is growing on her, and that, she's starting to like him. Well, I could have told you that in the beginning. Like, you said, oh, he's so disgusting, blah, blah, blah. But you let him do all this stuff. Like, try to spend if you really didn't like him, and you really didn't like him cuddling you and touching you and everything like that, then spend less time with him. Spend more time with your goddamn sister. Or don't let him do that kind of stuff. Say that you're grossed out by it or whatever. Like, more than you usually do. I don't get it. But here we are. She admits it. I still go on Facebook and Twitter and people still believe that she does it, even though she said it. And what? Yeah, is production telling her, oh, you know, we need to tell the viewers that you actually do like Austin. But when you get out of the house, you can say that you don't. You know, production has done some crazy shit and has told him to do some crazy stuff before. I don't really believe this is one of them. And the funny part was when Liz and Austin were actually just chilling there, they were just laying down on one of the chairs. Julie was actually in the swimming pool, and she was just staring in disgust. It was actually a pretty good moment. It was a pretty funny moment. So, the veto players are picked. They are Meg, Vanessa, and Austin. And Vanessa was Shelly's house guest choice. And of course that did not sit well with John. John approaches, Shelly calls John over after the ceremony. Shelly's laying in bed. She calls John over and she's like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. And it's like, well, clearly you did know what to do. Like, Vanessa's been your closest ally this entire time. And yeah, I understand that you said you were going to pick John. But if I were in Shelly's shoes, now here's the thing, this is where it gets a little interesting. I was going to say if I were in Shelly's shoes, I would pick Vanessa. Because she's been my closest ally, and she's been known to win. Yeah, John's been known to win too, but if John won, if she picked John, then Vanessa would have been super choked, and there'd be no way in saving that friendship there between Shelly and Vanessa. So John is upset. He's just like, okay, whatever, I get it. You just gotta win. You can't let Vanessa win. So here's the thing. This is what's really interesting, and this is what I kind of thought about, like, almost the entire episode. I did just mention that if I were Shelly, I'd pick Vanessa. But here's the thing. Shelly knows Vanessa's the backdoor plan. So by picking Vanessa, is this basically like slapping Becky in the face? I don't know. I personally, I think it is. I'd like to know what you guys think. Tweet me at Mr. Screen This. But I truly feel this is a slap in Becky's face. And now, if I'm Becky, regardless of who wins the veto, well, it's not regardless, it's as long as Shelly or Vanessa doesn't win veto. If I'm Becky, do I change my target to be Shelly and to kind of be like, look, you screwed me over. You gave Vanessa the opportunity to screw up my entire plan. Because at the end of the day, if Vanessa won, she would have been safe. She would have used the veto on Shelly. And what, Steve goes home? Or does, like, Becky target, like, the twins or Austin? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Steve would probably go home, and Becky's big plan of taking out Vanessa would have just been a disaster of an HoH week. So, personally, I think this is a slap to Becky's face, and if I were Becky, yeah, I understand. She's been all about, like, look, this is the game plan. It's staying the same the entire week. And, of course, if Vanessa or Shelly don't win, then that's still the plan. But who does she want to get out? Like I said, Becky wants Vanessa out, so she's probably going to stick to it. But I don't know. Maybe it's worth exploring. Like, screw you, Shelly. You gave Vanessa the opportunity to screw over my plan. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So the veto competition happened, and it's one of those where you like need to get on a pulley. You go across, and you go across this building, and there's a window, and you see all these posters. Well, it was actually like they made it as BB Comics. And then you need to match those posters. There's doubles of each poster, and you need to match it. And of course, there's very small things that are different in each poster. And so anyway, to give you guys the times, Meg got 15:37. Becky got 17:02, so Meg is still in the lead. Shelly got 25:31, so Meg still in the lead. Austin got 21:20, so he's out. Steve got 13:57, so he is now in the lead with just Vanessa remaining. And Vanessa's time was 21:44, so Steve has won the veto. Holy crap, good on him. He's finally won. You know what, I'm really proud of him. I don't need to repeat myself that I keep telling you guys every single episode that I love Steve, and kudos to him for winning the veto. So after the veto ceremony, James and Vanessa are in the bedroom talking, and Vanessa is wondering if Becky's sticking to the plan, and James says he doesn't know, which kind of gets Vanessa a little worried, because she's like, well, what do you mean you don't know? And then he's like, well, I haven't talked to her, and like he's trying to save his ass there, and he's like, well, I haven't talked to her, and Vanessa's like, he kind of calls him out. She's like, you're lying, I can see right through you right now. He's like, what are you talking about? It's not. And then he blames the little cat hat that kind of throws her off. You know that silly cat hat that James wears? Yeah, you know. So, anyway, James then goes and says, oh, maybe you should go talk to Becky about it then. Because he wants to stay out of all the drama this week. Way to go, James. Now you're going to put Becky in a tough spot. But, hey, guess what? It looks like Becky doesn't care. So Vanessa goes and talks to Becky. And Vanessa is just like, hey, you know what? Like, I just want to know what's going on. Like, it's obvious that the only two people you're going to put up are me and John. And you're pretty close friends with John, so I'm a little worried. And Becky says... And then Vanessa says, look, I was in your shoes a couple weeks ago, and you were on the block, and I could have easily put up a pawn, and you would have gone home, because we wanted to go after Austin, and then things changed. But you know what? I decided to go after Jason. And Becky and Vanessa's just like, I just want to know if I'm going to go up or not. And Becky says, no, straight up, no. And of course, we get Becky's diary room session, and she's just like, well, Vanessa believes that I owe her something, but I don't owe her anything. Which is true. Like, you know what? It's all a game. Vanessa's decision was solely her decision, and it wasn't to save anyone's ass. You decided to go after Jason, and so be it. You could have easily... Like, could you imagine this game, though, realistically, if she didn't put up Jason, they stuck to Austin, or even if they didn't stick to Austin, they put up a pawn and Becky went home? Like, so many things could be different right now, and that's what I love about this game, is that one big move changes the whole aspect of the game. So, like, just imagine if Shelly or Vanessa goes home. Like, Vanessa, I believe, is the bigger target in the house and the bigger move. Shelly is still considered a big move, but Vanessa's definitely the bigger one. And, so, anyway, moving right along, Vanessa, so because Becky says that, she says no to Vanessa, Vanessa's feeling pretty good. She goes down to the have-not room, and Meg, James, and Jackie are in there, and Vanessa's like, hey, so it looks like I just had a conversation with Becky, looks like everything, we're going according to plan, so we're in the clear. And Jackie's like, well, what do you mean? Like, of course we're in the clear. And then Vanessa's like, well, I don't know, and she's like, all playing like a little dummy. She's like, oh, I don't know, things can change, right? And Jackie's like, oh, yeah. And then Vanessa brings up a point of like, oh, like, are we going to do another deal this week and stuff like that? Because I guess they all had a deal this week to, keep each other safe. And, Jackie's like, well, what are you talking about? And then Vanessa's like, well, like, we going to do this for another week kind of thing? Jackie's like, yeah, why wouldn't we? And then Vanessa's like, okay, sorry, I guess I'm just playing a little dummy. And then as Vanessa leaves, Becky's coming in, and they all kind of have like a little giggle knowing that Vanessa's gone. So the veto ceremony goes down. Steve, of course, takes himself off the block, and I'm just going to read my notes here straight to you so I don't miss anything. And Becky says, this has been a personal decision for my game. Vanessa, take a seat. Vanessa's like, oh, blank stare, completely blank stare. She sits down, and Becky basically says she doesn't know who Vanessa is with or against in the house. She's influential on people, and she makes a lot of the decisions, or she influences a lot of decisions, and then when people need her the most, she drops them real quick if it didn't benefit her game. Damn. And that's it. That was the end of the episode. It's, you know what, what's crazy is that, I run a Big Brother pool with some coworkers and friends, and we've had, early on in the week, it was like, oh yeah, it's, Vanessa's going home for sure. So I already did all the points. I already did all the calculations. I was like, yeah, whoever picked Vanessa, you're losing points, blah, blah, blah. And I did it all. And then my buddy on Sunday, he was like, oh, like not Sunday, it was Tuesday, sorry. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, why, like, how do you know someone's already going home? Like, it's on Thursday, da-da-da-da. And then I was like, well, according to the live feeds, it's just, this is what's going down, and it looks like she's going home. And then all of a sudden, my other buddy, who reads up on the live feeds constantly, he told me on Tuesday night, because we were talking about this like Tuesday afternoon, and I hadn't read up on the live feeds on Monday and Tuesday, but it seemed like that was still the plan. And then my other buddy was like, dude, it looks like it might be Shelly. So I was like, no freaking way. So I don't know what's really going on. I haven't read up on the live feeds, but he was telling me it might be Shelly, it might be Vanessa. So this is actually more of a toss-up than it's supposed to be. And it looks like Becky's not even involved in this decision. So she's going to be pretty choked if Vanessa doesn't go home. So anyway, it's going to be a good episode tonight because it's a double eviction. So not only is all this, like, is it Shelly going home? Is it Vanessa going home? You have that, and then you have a double eviction. So it's going to be an awesome episode. This wraps up episode 22. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes if you want to listen to my podcast. And if you want to keep up to date on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mr. Screen This. Until next time, I'm Chris, and I'm out.